Angry, upset, pretty much everything.
3 people are dead and some others are injured after a devastating fire in Winchester.
We don't like it.
The latest on the cause of the fire and the cleanup.
He was such a good grandson, and I loved him so much.
We are learning about the victims of the deadly apartment fire here in Winchester.
I'm Jennifer Palumbo in Nashville, where we are just hours away from the Cats and the Crimson Tide. Rob Bromley and I will have team coverage coming up on WKYT News at 5.
WKYT News starts now with breaking news.
Good afternoon to you. The search for a violent inmate in eastern Kentucky is over.
Police in Breathitt County say that David Haddix jumped out of a transport van on Highway 52 this afternoon while he was being taken back to jail after court. We learned about 30 minutes ago that Haddix had been caught. Monique Blair is live now with the breaking details on his capture. Monique?
Well, Sam and Amber, Jackson City Police Chief Ken Spicer says after about a 3-hour search just moments ago, David Blake Haddix was caught and brought back here to the police department. Now, Chief Spicer tells me a witness spotted Haddix getting into a vehicle on Miller's Branch, which is a dead-end street here in town. Police were able to stop that vehicle. Chief Spicer tells me the 3 other people besides Haddix who were in that vehicle were also taken into custody. Chief Spicer says at least one of those people will be charged with harboring an escapee. Now, Chief Spicer tells me Haddix escaped from the back door of that transport van, and police are still trying to figure out how he was able to do that. For now, I'm reporting live in Breathitt County. Monique Blair, WKYT.
Monique, thank you. And now to our top story, a tragic overnight fire. Tonight, firefighters in Winchester are investigating the city's first fatal fire in years.
It started around 1:30 this morning at an apartment complex on Spring Miss Lane. Firefighters say 3 people were killed and several others were injured. Our Garrett Weimer is live now with our top story tonight. And Garrett, do firefighters know what caused that fire yet?
I'm told that's still part of the investigation at this point. Investigators from the fire department, state police, and even the ATF were out here almost all day on the scene here of this deadly and devastating fire. It's been a difficult day for folks here, going through a full range of emotions.
Angry, upset, pretty much everything.
And it's not much easier on the firefighters.
We don't like it. You know, we're going to try to, like I said, we're going to do the investigation and try to find out, you know, if there was anything that could have prevented it and what the investigation leads us to. So.
Investigators say 2 people never made it out of the burning building. A 3rd person died at the hospital. Firefighters say 6 others were injured. Some of those neighbors say were hurt after they jumped from the 2nd floor to get away from the fire. A shocking sight and a shocking scene for folks here at the time.
I lost some friends in the fire, and one of them was a really good friend of mine and my fiance's, and she was just a really good woman.
The Red Cross, I'm told, is putting up those who survived the fire in a hotel here in town. Their building appears to be completely destroyed. Crews are now here with fences to take care of that and secure the scene here. Live in Winchester, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
Garrett, thank you. The coroner has identified one of the people killed in that fire. Neighbors say that 2 women and a man died. Our Kristen Kennedy is talking to family members and friends about their losses. She continues our top story team coverage.
People living in this apartment complex say they're still in shock. They lost 3 friends overnight.
I come around the corner and it was like 100 feet up in the air, and then one of the things blew off and it burnt my beard up.
Some neighbors like TJ Jones felt the flames early Friday. He says he tried to help and he watched one of his friends die doing the same. He says one of the victims tried going back into her apartment to save her pets.
Just a good person. Always laughing, always giggling, always doing something nice for somebody. go to the store for everybody, help the elderly.
The other woman who didn't survive the fire was an older lady he says he helped get things for around town. And the man who died, families say, was Donald Heisel.
He always loved me, and it was up here yesterday, and he hugged me and rubbed my back. He hugged me so tight. He was such a good grandson, and I loved him so much. And he was always a good person.
Alice Gray was Heisel's grandmother.
He didn't care for people. He loved people.
Heisel's family told us his father suffered burns in the fire. They are hopeful that he'll recover. In Winchester, Kristen Kennedy, WKYT.
It is unclear right now how Donald Heisel's father, Jackie, is doing. Neighbors say the three victims were in separate apartments in that same building.
The state has decided to go after the death penalty in a Western Kentucky murder case. Our county-by-county coverage at 5 begins in Allen County. This afternoon, the state announced they will pursue the death penalty in Timothy Madden's case. Madden is accused of killing 7-year-old Gabby Doolin in November. The state had until the end of the month to make a decision on the death penalty. Madden is scheduled to be back in court in July. In Simpson County, state police have charged a man accused of shooting a deputy on Thursday. Ben Wyatt is accused of shooting Deputy Eddie Lawson when Lawson tried to serve Wyatt a warrant. State police say that Wyatt shot Lawson twice. Lawson shot Wyatt in the arm. Deputy Lawson was taken to a hospital in Nashville. We're told that he is expected to survive. Wyatt was taken to a hospital after he was called. He has since been released and has been charged with attempted murder of a police officer.
Cooler temperatures have rolled into the bluegrass, but we're still seeing some great weather across the region. Meteorologist Jim Caldwell is tracking some even better weather for the weekend. Cooler? I mean, I thought it was really nice out there.
You know, it was cooler when you look at yesterday because we were in the mid-70s. But today we're in the low 60s, so we're still at some very comfortable levels out there. So it's not a big deal. But again, technically it was cooler out there. Thanks in part to the cloud cover that's with us and the fact that we had a frontal boundary roll through the area. That's really changed things up quite a bit. So you see the clouds. But in this particular view, as I was kind of scanning the skies here with our camera, you can see a little more light trying to break through. And that's what you're going to see, is you're going to see some light try to break through. 60 right now in Lexington, and we've been there for the past few hours. Catching a northeasterly wind around 9 miles per hour. And you can see some of the other folks across central and eastern Kentucky running in the low and mid-60s. Even an upper 50 there down toward Danville, so still holding on to some of that. Quick check of some of the headlines. Rain chances return, warmer air remains dominant, but that doesn't mean it's going to stick around forever. We do have some cool stuff trying to get in here in that 7-day. I'll track it coming up for you.
Thank you, Jim. Well, it is hard not to find any blue in Nashville right now this weekend. UK fans in the Music City as Kentucky looks to win the SEC tournament.
We are just 2 hours from tip-off of the UK-Alabama game. Our own Rob Bromley and Jennifer Palumbo are live for us in Nashville. They begin our SEC tournament coverage. Good afternoon, guys.
Hello, Amber and Sam. Nashville is a city that UK fans know and love. Bridgestone Arena has hosted the SEC tournament 6 times, and Rob, the fans are making the most of this game day. They are out on the streets and inside the arena watching games.
You know, you get to a conference tournament, and it's wild what you can see. LSU and Tennessee going at it in there right now, and there's some Tennessee fans pulling for Kentucky. Yes, you won't see that very often, but they are. But it is the postseason. Some teams are trying to win their way into the NCAA, and others are trying to improve their seed. And John Calipari talked a little bit about that earlier in the week. Right now, the Cats would look to be a 4 seed, possibly a 3 going into next week's NCAA. Cal talked yesterday about how it's important for a team not to be misseeded.
In a basketball eye, I would say, okay, now, I don't care what they did in December. I'm looking at them right now. And if you misseed a team, whether it's us or anybody else, the team that's punished is the team they play. That we don't deserve playing these guys. Well, how did we get this? So that's why I said I think that the committee will be fine. I mean, they know the history of how we do this, and the teams get better.
All right, and Cal obviously referring back to the Wichita State game a few years ago when he made that comment. But tonight it is the SEC quarterfinals, Kentucky and Alabama, Jennifer, and it tips off at 7 o'clock tonight in Bridgestone Arena right behind us.
That's right, and Bridgestone Arena may look a lot like Rupp Arena. It seats 20,000. The record so far for this tournament is 12,000, and you can bet UK fans are going to beat that number tonight. And that's because they have taken over the Music City, and they will take over Bridgestone Arena to cheer on the Cats against the Crimson Tide. Nashville is a place Big Blue Nation knows and loves. Kentucky, of course, won the SEC tournament here last year, and fans are feeling good about the Cats' chances this weekend.
We are in Nashville, Tennessee, where we'll paint this place blue with the U, the real U, Tyler Eulis, national champion.
There are some wild fans out there, Rob. We have seen them already. And one of the big things going on right now, UK fans are on the street trying to score some tickets. This is going to be a very tough ticket. Not as expensive as last year, though, because, of course, the team came in here undefeated. But it is going to be, you can guarantee, a sea of blue and white inside Bridgestone Arena.
Well, everybody anxious to see the Cats play. They haven't played since last Saturday when they defeated LSU on Senior Day.
All right, well, we will have much more to come here live from Nashville. Rob will be back at 5:30, and I'll be back at 6. That's it for now. Sam and Amber, back to you.
All right, Rob and Jennifer, we'll see you then. Thank you. Still to come on WKYT News at 5. They ran two very different campaigns. We'll tell you why Ben Carson is endorsing Donald Trump.
Former First Lady Nancy Reagan laid to rest, how her friends and family are remembering her.
All this week on Wheel.
I know pi to 50 digits.
Go ahead, do it.
3.141592653375510.
Plus, an unbelievable solve
How in the world?
you don't want to miss.
Wheel of Fortune, tonight at 7 on WKYT.
It's Furniture World Superstore's biggest tax refund sale ever. Now's a great time to redecorate your home because Furniture World stretches your tax refund with huge savings store-wide. Plus, 2 years interest-free. Now at Furniture World, use your tax refund to refurnish your living room or dining room. Update your bedroom. Sleep better on a comfortable new mattress. We're serious about saving you big money. Get huge tax refund savings. Plus, it's interest-free for 2 full years. So hurry in and save during our biggest tax refund sale ever. Now at all 5 Furniture World Superstore locations.
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire.
This winter, give snow and ice a swift kick to the curb in a Dodge with all-wheel drive. Now, returning FCA US lessees can finance and get $5,500 total cash allowance on the purchase of a 2016 Dodge Journey.
Before contemplating the many choices on Steak & Shake's $4 menu, one must calm the mind in our Zen garden. Focus. The garlic double steak burger meal. Reflect. The taco salad meal. Zen. The original double and cheese steak burger meal.
Oh!
The $4 menu, where all meals are under $4 at Steak & Shake.
Sleep Outfitters and Tempur-Pedic announce an offer that will floor you. For a limited time, get up to half off the price of Tempur-Pedic floor models. That's right, up to 50% off Tempur-Pedic floor model sets while supplies last. Find Tempur-Pedic queen sets as low as $34 a month. Buy now and upgrade to an adjustable base for the same monthly payment. With 0% financing for 5 years or up to 50% off Tempur-Pedic floor models. Now's the time to get your Tempur-Pedic at Sleep Outfitters.
The joys of carry-out pizza places. It's never ready when they say it'll be. And if you just want a slice or two, good luck on that. So why wait at one of those pizza carry-out places when fresh pizzeria-style pizzas, whole or by the slice, are yours in just minutes at Speedway? A rich, buttery crust, real mozzarella cheese, and fresh pepperoni, all ready for you at Speedway. Why wait at a carry-out place when Speedway's got fresh hot pizza in just minutes?
The convenience stores of Speedway.
Now buy one slice of pizza at Speedway and get your second slice free.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Jim Caldwell.
Mainly cloudy out there on this Friday, but eventually we will track some showers into the area overnight and through most of the weekend. Should be a solid wet one for you overall, but we will have some breaks, so keep that in mind. Let's check and see what we've got going on out there with some of our sky cams across Kentucky, from the Mountain Parkway to Frank, looks like somebody on the Mountain Parkway shot looks like they broke down on the side of the road. So hopefully somebody can give them some assistance out there. I mean, it's not every day you see that, but certainly that's exactly what that is right there. So hopefully they've got somebody on the way to help them out. But if not, the weather is fine. We've got just some clouds out there with temperatures running in the low 60s, so it could always be worse. It could be, you could be that guy, and it would be raining. Here we go, off to what we're looking at here with the forecast around here. We go through the overnights and through the evening, temperatures staying in the low 50s, I think, overnight and into the early morning hours. There will be a few of us that probably get into the upper 40s, but that's going to be just here and there. So low, mid 50s, certainly a good range to be in, since that's very close to where our highs should be and beyond that. So we're doing very, very well. There you see some of the rain breaking out, though, into parts of Lexington and in parts of southern and eastern Kentucky as well during the early morning hours. So you get a little batch of maybe a few showers at that time. We'll go into the midday, and you're looking at 69 degrees at that point, likely end up in the low, maybe some mid 70s. But you notice also chances of rain will start to increase again. We'll start filling in with rounds of rain sweeping into the area by the time we get into the afternoon and also into the evening hours. So we will run into more rain chances throughout the entire area. Here's what we've got for you in our 7-day forecast. More rounds of showers and thunderstorms. I think the better chance of going into the weekend will be on Sunday. And don't forget, this is very important, even though most of us use our smartphones for it. We set our clocks up 1 hour. Coming up on Saturday night, you go up from 2 to 3 o'clock as we are talking about daylight saving time, guys, and it will be much needed. I need all the daylight I can get, especially toward the evening, okay? So we're going to get it again.
But no rain really, tonight and tomorrow for the most part?
For the most part. It's going to be scattered through the area tomorrow. Okay. A little more organized once we get into your Sunday, though.
Okay. Thank you, Jim.
Live look at Lexington rush hour traffic this afternoon, and a couple of things causing issues. One is a collision on the outer loop of New Circle at Russell Cave on the north side of town. Seeing delays in that area and at Military and Keene. Traffic flow and drive times to Versailles, things look pretty good. Nicholasville, a little slower now, anywhere from 12 to 15 minutes, depending on traffic flow there. And outbound North Broadway looks good to Paris Pike. Now back to you in the studio.
Next on WKYT News, prosecutors want to know if cell phone use played a role in a deadly ambulance crash, while the driver's attorney says police are just looking for evidence.
I've covered thousands of games over decades. You think you can beat me? Come on.
Challenge Dave Baker and play the Hoops Hysteria Tournament Pick'em game for your chance to win a 65-inch LG 4K Smart TV. Sign up today on WKYT.com.
If your child ever asks, where do sandwiches come from? Tell them the truth. Look them straight in the eyes and tell them, sandwiches come from Arby's. And if they ask where the loaded Italian and its many meats come from, kindly respond, what part of Arby's didn't you understand, Giuseppe? The loaded Italian sandwich. Arby's, we have the meats.
Unclaimed freight notice this weekend at American Freight. Over 1,000 truckloads of living room furniture. 7-piece living room groups that include a sofa, love seat, coffee table, 2 end tables, and 2 designer lamps. You get all 7 pieces from only $398 complete. Free layaway till tax refund. Same-day delivery. Come to the loading docks this weekend only at American Freight in Lexington, 272 West New Circle Road next to Walmart across from Jalapenos. Phone 226-0008.
Turn back the clock around the clock with Merle Norman's anti-aging complex system. 94% saw an improvement in the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles. 91% agree skin felt firmer around the eyes. 91% felt an improvement in skin smoothness. Ask about our latest anti-aging complex dry oil serum. Merle Norman. Your gift with the purchase of 2 or more Merle Norman cosmetic products.
Chimneys are in a constant state of deterioration, and most will leak at some point. We solve this problem. Don't call a roofer to fix your chimney. Call Barnhill Chimney Company today.
Make time this spring to escape to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, where the only thing you'll want to do is have fun in the sun. Let the sound of the ocean's tide take all your cares away and leave you refreshed to experience something new. It's your moment to let go and unwind on Myrtle Beach Time.
Let go and unwind on Myrtle Beach Time.
savor something different every day. Just ask for the $3 sub of the day at Subway restaurants. A different 6-inch sub every day for only $3. 7 days, 7 subs, $3. Subway, founded on fresh.
Get weather plus traffic with a WKYT weather app. Have the Defender radar network in the palm of your hand while checking your driving conditions for your commute on the same screen. Weather plus traffic on the WKYT weather app.
They want to know if cell phone use played a role in a deadly crash involving an ambulance.
Police say Kevin French was driving an ambulance along a Knox County road when he hit a group of teenagers on bicyclists in August of 2014. 14-year-old Samson Callender was killed in that crash, and French was indicted last year in connection to the crash. New at 5, Phil Pendleton talks to French's attorney about the cell phone evidence.
The collision between the ambulance and some kids on bikes happened here on 25E in August of 2014. The indictment states that French was allegedly under the influence of intoxicants. But French's attorney tells me he believes his client is innocent, and this was simply just an accident. And he says now he does not understand why police are so interested in his cell phone.
It's simply a fishing expedition. The affidavit for the search warrant does not set out any reason to believe that there would be any evidence in his phone.
David Hoskins represents Kevin French, whom police say was under the influence when the Knox ambulance hit several kids on bikes, killing the 14-year-old. Court papers are seeking all records pertaining to calls, texts, and data on French's phone.
But there is no evidence that he was using his phone in any way. He just had his phone with him.
Regardless of what the phone shows, Hoskins says the jury will also not have enough evidence to prove he was impaired when the ambulance crashed.
Because even if there was anything in his blood, it was such a minimal level that it could not have impaired his ability to drive and did not impair his ability to drive.
And prosecutors tell me that they simply want the jury to have access to any and all information and to be able to understand everything that French was doing at the time of the crash. In Knox County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
French and the Knox County Ambulance Service are also defendants in a civil suit. It states that French was driving negligent, careless, and reckless when that crash happens.
Some big campaign 2016 news out of Florida tonight. Former presidential candidate Ben Carson has officially endorsed Donald Trump. Carson dropped out of the race earlier this month. He says he and Trump have buried the hatchet, and he described Trump as a very cerebral person. Friends and family and actors, political leaders as well, a diverse group of people gathering to mourn the loss of former First Lady Nancy Reagan today. Mrs. Reagan died on Sunday at her home in California from congestive heart failure. The 94-year-old was laid to rest this afternoon next to her husband at the Reagan Presidential Library in Simi Valley, California. At her funeral, the couple's daughter talked about her mother after her father's death in 2004.
She never stopped missing him. She told me once that the reason she had the television on all the time was because it filled the house with sound and made her feel less lonely.
Nancy Reagan, best known by many for her support of her husband Ronald Reagan and for her Just Say No to Drugs campaign.
Many people will not feel like that's not enough.
Coming up later on WKYT News at 5:30, a man whose murder conviction was once overturned pleads guilty again in the death of his wife. How long he'll spend in prison coming up.
Promising research on new technology for glaucoma patients, and a Zika vaccine could be ready for testing soon. The story's next in Better Living.
Stay connected to the news that matters to you. Follow WKYT on Twitter.
With a variety of fresh meat seafood meals starting at just $4.99, no one does seafood like Dee's. Try our new homestyle flounder meal, or double dozen shrimp, or our grilled menu featuring new Tuscan tilapia, each with 2 sides and hush puppies. For full meals starting at $4.99, it's gotta be Dee's.
Kentucky has lots of counties and miles of roads. And in every county, there's a Kentucky Farm Bureau agent looking out for folks when they're on the road. When you're in Kentucky, you're never far away from Kentucky's own property and casualty insurer. Kentucky Farm Bureau, big on commitment.
After you're injured at work, a lot of times the insurance company will attempt to call you, take statements,
don't speak to them until you speak with an experienced workers' compensation attorney.
The insurance company will attempt to settle your case for pennies on the dollar. Before you talk to the insurance company, call us first.
Our job is to make sure you get all the money you deserve.
Call Morgan, Collins, and Yeast. 1-800-55-WILDCAT.
These creamery shakes are so rich and creamy.
I know. Finally a shake for an aficionado like myself.
Wait, you're a shake aficionado?
Not a shake aficionado. The shake aficionado.
Whoa.
Yeah. Well, perhaps you could be one too. Go ahead.
It's a coolness. It's cold.
Okay, ice cream is cold. Stop the presses, guys. Ice cream is cold. Says Pete. Print it.
New slow-turned creamery shakes are here in premium flavors like bourbon brown sugar. And all shakes are half price after 8 p.m. This is how you Sonic.
It's that time of year for Buick March Madness at Adams Buick GMC Truck in Richmond, and we're slamming the competition. Now choose from over 25 new Buick Encores starting at $21,995. Lease a new Buick Regal, $299 a month. Save over $6,500 on a new Buick LaCrosse, now $37,220. Or get a new Buick Enclave for $33,900. Plus, get the Adams Advantage, a limited lifetime powertrain warranty. Buick March Madness is on at Adams Buick GMC Truck in Richmond, where
Sid says sell them.
It's Furniture World Superstore's biggest tax refund sale ever. Now's a great time to redecorate your home because Furniture World stretches your tax refund with huge savings store-wide, plus 2 years interest-free. Now at Furniture World, use your tax refund to refurnish your living room or dining room, update your bedroom, sleep better on a comfortable new mattress. We're serious about saving you big money. Get huge tax refund savings, plus it's interest-free for 2 full years. So hurry in and save during our biggest tax refund sale ever. Now at all 5 Furniture World Superstore locations.
With a variety of fresh-made seafood meals starting at just $4.99, no one does seafood like Dee's. Try our new homestyle flounder meal or double dozen shrimp, or our grilled menu featuring new Tuscan tilapia, each with 2 sides and hush puppies. For full meals starting at $4.99, it's gotta be Dee's.
It is time now for better living, health, education, and consumer news that impacts your life. Glaucoma is a leading cause of blindness in the U.S. Now the Food and Drug Administration has given the green light to a new technology that could help doctors predict which patients have more severe cases. Marley Hall reports from New York.
Paul Siegfried has been living with glaucoma for 15 years.
If you get the diagnosis, you should take it very seriously.
Glaucoma damages the optic nerve, which can leave patients with vision loss, even blindness. Pressure inside the eye is the only risk factor that can be controlled.
Look straight ahead for me.
Paul took part in a new study at New York Presbyterian Columbia that tested a smart contact lens on 40 glaucoma patients. As pressure fluctuates, a sensor in the lens detects changes in the curvature of the eye.
The signal from this contact lens allows us to differentiate those who are progressing faster from those who are stable.
Patients wear a wireless device that sends a readout to the ophthalmologist. Doctors say the ultimate goal of the smart lens technology is to help monitor patients continuously, day and night.
We have no way of monitoring pressure at night at the moment, so we're missing critical pieces of the information to help us make decisions.
Paul's test results showed he is at low risk for his glaucoma advancing quickly.
Maybe I'll have trouble in my 80s or 90s, and if I make it that far, I can live with that.
The 68-year-old is able to manage with just eye drops and sees his ophthalmologist regularly. Marley Hall, CBS News, New York.
The study was recently published in the journal Ophthalmology. U.S. health officials say a Zika vaccine could be ready for testing this fall. The mosquito-borne virus is hitting Puerto Rico very hard, where there is concern thousands of pregnant women could be infected this year. Zika has been linked to microcephaly, birth defect that leaves newborns with abnormally small heads and developmental delays. Just yesterday, Kentucky health officials announced the state's first case of Zika here. Actress Jessica Alba's Honest company is coming under fire again, disputing a report in the Wall Street Journal. At issue is a cleaning agent called SLS, listed as a forbidden ingredient in the company's Honestly Free guarantee. The Journal cites 2 independent lab tests which found Honest laundry detergent contains the harsh cleaning agent. Honest company says it uses a safer, gentler ingredient and calls the Journal reporting reckless. Now, here's what's coming up for you at 5:30.